Alright guys, we are back with some more MX versus ATV Legends, and today we have the update, the patch we were waiting for. I don't believe we got one in May, but here we go in June. It has a bunch of stuff in it. It has the more tracks to the 2025 Monster Energy Supercross track DLC. We have customization and some pretty serious changes to the Pro experimental physics. So let's just jump into it and check it out. First up, like I said, we have Indy, Birmingham, Seattle, and Foxborough being added to the 2025 Monster Energy Supercross track DLC. A new proximity HUD, so you don't have to look behind you. You just have an indicator showing you how close the guy behind you is. So pretty cool, nice quality of life update. Now this one's a bit interesting. It's for multiplayer. If you don't pick your gate within 5 seconds, they'll skip over you, probably to stop people from, hogging all the time before a race starts and whatever, so everybody gets a chance. Kind of cool, good quality of life feature. And we get loadout colors, so matching your parts and your gear is now easier than ever before. Again, a good quality of life feature. More customization has been added to the game, like we usually get with each patch. They usually give us some form of customization. This time we get a bunch from Fox and FXR. And last up, we have the physics changes to the Pro 450 experimental physics, and it's pretty noticeable, pretty major, and we'll go over it at the very end of the video. First up, let's go over the customization. We have a bunch from Fox this time around. Most of it would be from Fox, a little bit from FXR as well. So we had 5 different helmets, we have 5 different goggles, and we have 5 different sets of gloves from Fox. And then we also do get 2 new sets of boots from Fox as well. So a lot of stuff from Fox. And then for the jerseys and the pants, we have 5 different sets from Fox, and then 3 different sets from FXR. 2 of them would be color customizable for FXR, and 1 of them would be color customizable for Fox. So good customization. Usually we get it with each patch. This was some good additions to the game. Now on to the 4 replica Supercross tracks we get with this update. We get Seattle, which is the first one. And for these laps, I was going to show 2, so I could show some alternate, lines that you can take, but I decided to just show 1. It is a mixture. Some of it will be in first person, some of it will be in third. The reason it's kind of a mixture is because sometimes I felt like my first person was good enough, sometimes it wasn't, and then I wanted to get, a decent third person lap in, so it is going to be a mixture, but from Indy here, it is in first person. And the reason is because I've been playing a bunch of first person lately in Legends, and in my opinion, the game looks amazing in first person, and it's probably the best way to play it. But Indy here was really fun. There is multiple different ways around this track. It's very ruddy, and that's kind of a theme you'll see with these 4 tracks here today, that they are very pre-made, rough, and ruddy. Now moving on to Birmingham, this is third person obviously because I just was able to ride the track better in third person, because even if I prefer first person because it looks really good in the game, I still feel like I'm a bit better in third person. So Birmingham here, third person. I didn't get all the huge lines that you can go for, but I felt like I hit a very, standard way around each track. So Birmingham here, really fun, really well done. Now I did say the tracks are pre-made, kind of rough and ruddy, very ruddy actually, and they did a great job with these tracks, but sometimes I felt like once in a while, that bridge was an example. Sometimes it felt like some of the jumps were maybe even a teeny tiny bit too big, but it is an arcade game, so having some of those really big jumps it doesn't really bother me that much. But if I had to have one tiny complaint, sometimes it felt like some of the jumps might be a little bit big, but it's very consistent with the way they've been doing these tracks lately. Ever since they introduced the pro tracks with the stock ones, when they redid some of them, they've been very consistent. And then this would be Seattle, and again, this track, I just was able to hit it better in third person, but a lot of different ways you can hit this track as well. Again, very pre-made rutty and rough, and the ruts are actually really interesting. There's two different types of ruts on these tracks. You have the ruts in the corners that you can get into, but then you have ruts on the faces, and we know Seattle was very rutty, and so they really capture it well in the game, but they're not so deep that it really messes you up when you try to hit the face of a jump. And I know in real life it would, but for the sake of the video game, I like that they're there, and they're not just visual, but they're not like super gnarly. Now, if you had terrain deformation turned up really high, you probably could make some of these supercross tracks very difficult to ride. And then Foxborough would be the final one. And I do have first person here. We come back to it. My favorite camera angle again, because I felt like I got around this track even better in first person than I did in third person. This track, same kind of theme where there's a bunch of different lines you can take. It's rough, it's ruddy, but overall, very fun. This maybe was my favorite track actually out of the four. I mean, Seattle was really fun too, but Foxborough was just incredibly flowy. And it's funny to me because in both games, this one and Supercross 25, the Foxborough was a track that had good line choice and was fun for me. So Foxborough, all these replicas were done very well. I know some people were wondering why we don't have all of them. MX versus ATV has said that this is how they're doing it. They want to avoid having to, make 2-3 different versions of the track and have all these updates to make it, the way it should be. So they're taking their time and making it as similar as they can to the way it was in real life. And I feel like they're doing a great job. I know some people are getting kind of impatient about it, but I mean, Rainbow Studios has said that, so it's not new information. Maybe you just missed it, but if you're getting testy because you don't have all your tracks, you should have listened to them before you bought the DLC. I don't know what else to say, but here we switch over to the changes to the Pro 450 experimental physics. So one thing they did do is they brought the 450 Pro experimental physics to all 2025 450 OEMs. So it has to be the 450, I believe, and it has to be the 2025 version if you have it. If you have 2024 or older, you won't have the physics on it. You still have the one bike, the Element bike, but you won't have the OEMs with the Pro physics. But they did do some good changes to them. So the two biggest changes would be that they made the bike feel lighter in the air, and the maneuverability of the bike in the air is quicker, much quicker. I also believe they did do some changes to the automatic transmission on this bike and a few other odds and ends, but those would be the main, most noticeable changes. And these changes were based on the community. So based on your feedback and what you've been saying and telling Rainbow Studios. So that's why these changes were made. Yes, the bike feels a bunch lighter in the air, and it is much quicker to throw scrubs and whips and try to bring it back. When I was first using it, I felt like maybe it was too fast, but the more I tested it, the more I liked it, and I felt like this was a good change. No, I don't feel like it's perfect, but in my opinion, better than where it was, and good changes overall. The Pro physics are still the same, but they're adjusting them. So meaning the Pro physics are the same. What I mean by that, the way the bike will, like how you control the bike will be the same, but they're making adjustments to whether or not, how fast you can rotate it in the air and all that stuff. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about the patch overall, how you feel about the tracks, how you feel about the Pro physics and the changes. Again, in my opinion, these were good. And what else you think can be done to the Pro physics to improve them and make them better? What your opinions would be, your suggestions after seeing the changes that have already been done. And one thing before we wrap up the video that I do want to mention, somebody said, and I haven't talked to Rainbow Studios, so I don't have official word or confirmation, but somebody said that we would be getting the Pro Replica outdoor national tracks, and we didn't. I really thought we would have one or two in this patch, but we didn't. So again, somebody said we will be getting them, but I don't have confirmation from Rainbow Studios. So for right now, you'll just have to sit tight and see. I know some people really want them. Some people probably don't care because I feel like the tracks haven't changed too much. But I mean, I want to see them. I want to see them. And you see, if you watch the races, you see MX versus ATV Legends is an official sponsor. You see the banners around the track and the running order and all that stuff. So yeah, there is that. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you feel about the patch and what you think they could do to improve the pro physics. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.